must. Which I think the answer is yes.
We must, and we are.
Oh, and we are. Sure, press the button.
And relax. So Ozzy throws in $2 to start.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's jumping straight out of the gate. The gate has not even come through.
Grudge can. Yeah.
I feel like the gate hit your butt on the way out because you're so instantly straight out of the gate. Oh, can't hear you now because you've muted this way.
Can you reposition me just a tad? There's a little bit of black over here that you should probably just squeak out.
Oh, you mean the grey?
Well, it's black, but yeah.
Okay. Bloop. There you go.
I'll take your word for it on the delays. Okay.
It's all good.
Welcome back, guys. We're here to talk about the next episode of Discovery number 6, Stormy Weather.
Yeah, we are going right through the episodes.
Which is fine. This is a great episode.
Yeah. No, it's and breaking news, Stuart. I sent you the message, but no, they have now announced today, like an hour ago, that they are taking a mid-season break for Discovery Season 4 to be replaced by Prodigy Season 1.5 or 1 Part 2. There you go. Which, I mean, makes sense. We said it makes no sense to have competing weekly shows, given the fact that they want to sell weekly membership to a channel, to a streaming service.
Yeah.
But it's like they did not announce that when they announced the other dates when Prodigy came out. So
I was wondering how it was going to work with 13 episodes. It would Picard starts mid-February. So they run some of. Oh my god, I don't know.
I mean, they must have known this a while ago. They just didn't tell us because I guess 13 episodes feel stronger than 2 batches, but then don't announce Prodigy coming back. So there we go, guys. One more episode of Discovery, mid-season break, which implies, if it was planned, which seems like it would be, an epic half-season ender, that's really exciting. We'll talk about that at the end. Back to Prodigy. So straight January, back to Prodigy, then back to Discovery, and I guess Picard, as you said. So it's I'm freaking happy, Stuart. No double bill because I did not need that in my life.
yeah, I hear you. I'm right there with you on that one, there, but
every damn time they're like double announcement, like oh no, and they take that away from us. I'm like yeah. Oh goodness.
Well, Kaylee Anderson throws in £5.
Oh, hello.
These are great super chats to start the chat. So thank you so much. Hit that like that button, guys. We got 50.
And that's a new chatter, a new super chatter. UK nonetheless.
Well, I think she's super chatted once or twice before. At least she's been in the chat. I've seen her. So
don't remember the.
But anyway,
hi. Thanks so much.
Just finished watching the episode. Why the hell did Burnham not go into the buffer? Full on Messiah complex. That one. Well, it's the whole captain goes down with her ship type deal. So that's what it is.
Well, the bigger question is, I assume she died from the heat, and then they resuscitated her.
Well, I expected Zora to beam her out last second. We never saw that. Would have been cool if we would have seen
or it would just be faded black and just like in the sound mix. Yeah, that was strange. And I will admit that I certainly expected if she. And I guess skip to the end there, but I certainly was waiting when they turned to her from the blinking, see burns on a massive amount of her body. And say, Burnham, you made it. You've got burns on 55% of your body, but that'll take about a day to fix.
You're burnt ham.
But I was kind of surprised because she should have been massively burned or dead. At least mention she's been in healing, back to gel, back to tank for 10 hours would have been an obvious thing. So they kind of missed a trick there.
Jimmy Dean is right too. Zora was scared, so she wanted to kind of hold Zora's hand through it as well. So I mean, there's a lot going on there, and I have no problem with it. I think most of the captains we know would have done the same. So,
but once she passes out, the purpose of being there is pointless, and therefore she should have left because she was dying.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way to be kind about that. She was literally dying. So, just say.
Adam says, "Hey guys, is it just me or the stupidity on this went up to 11?" No, not at all.
No, I wouldn't say so. Can you explain? I think both of us found it.
Well, Trekyards pointing out that the sonar doesn't work in space because it's sound, but
Pavo and all that we've already had.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's not literally sonar. It's resonating a frequency of a particle, and if you're making the particle move, then you're picking up the movement of the particle just being translated into sonar. So it's not literally sound. It's picking up a resonance and translating that through the computer to a sound to represent sonar. So I don't see it as a problem. I think it was fine.
I don't either.
I mean, sonar in space is dumb, and it was worse in Pavo, but this was not that exactly. So
hit the like button, guys. 53, you hear 27 likes, and everybody stop yelling. Trekyards is yelling. Feed Me Seymour is yelling. We get it. Just
why are they yelling?
I don't know.
Oh.
Especially Feed Me Seymour. I don't know why his cap lock is on. Trekyards I kind of get, but yeah.
I'm looking at a different screen. I'll have to jump back in and take a look what's happening. Dear me. Bloody premiere takes a minute. Yeah. Okay, what's happening? Oh, okay, fair enough. Caps lock, guys. Turn it off. No, we did, Ozzy. It was literally 1 second into the live. I think we'll have to reread it. I don't know if YouTube cut that off. That was why the joke I made at the start.
Oh yeah, we read it right away. And we were live for a while before I read it, so. Because I had hit live before you realized I hit live. You were still talking. Oh yeah, we should. That's why I'm like, we're live.
Lies.
Okay, Trek or not, we get it. Yes, we don't want to hear any more about it.
Eugene.
Anyway, Eugene is here with 1,000 rubles. That is awesome. Thank you.
Does the magical Eugene thing.
This one was so much better. Well, almost. After thinking about it, I guess the problem with multiple subplots was lack of classical unities of time, space, and action. Example, you can't an hour-long peaceful conversation in the same time frame. That's comment 1 of 2. Before we get into number 2, though, Olivia super chats in with $10. So thank you, Olivia. Good to see you. I like the Gray and computer explaining their names. I know when I picked my name, I picked a name that paid homage to the my past, my initials. Now used to my used to be my nickname in high school. Loved that detail. Yes, great. I just picked my name because I liked it.
Well, I wonder what the impetus for Gray choosing their own name was.
Don't know.
Maybe that's a part of the trillness once you commit to be although we know they're on a generational ship and they were sort of, left their own devices with no parents, so maybe it was like a leave them. Well, there's no surname, so yeah. Although Book also has a different name, so.
Eugene, 1,000 rubles with a 5-minute tops life-threatening crystals. This episode was more united, except for the final act where it reversed back to shaky pace. And Feed Me Seymour keeps yelling at me that Zora equals Miriam. Think about it. Who the hell is Miriam?
Merriam-Webster dictionary. I don't know. And yes, Terra.
Calm down with the capitals, or we're gonna yeah. Relax a little. Chill.
I'm relaxed. Are you relaxed, Stuart? Max power.
I'm very good, yeah.
Kaylee. That's funny.
All right. Great way to start with super chats. Hit the like button, guys. 37 likes is good, but we need to get 50.
We do.
We got enough people here, so hit it.
Premiere's totally crashed, so don't expect any pictures for a minute.
Oh, it's the robot season, or the robot woman from seasons 1 and 2. Maybe that's the case. Maybe they did merge with the sphere data. I don't know.
Wow, that shows how much we knew the character, didn't even know the name.
Yeah, her name was Ariam, not Miriam. So
yeah, Ariam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
Because it's wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, no one knew her until we got one episode where she died, so it's fair enough that no one knows who she is. But the actress still there. In maybe a blonde wig. Don't know.
Commander Nielsen.
Mm-hmm.
And we like Commander Nielsen.
Don't be afraid of those blondes.
The new hottie on the bridge.
Hardly knew.
Well.
Okay, I'm doing this. I'm scrolling through 2,000 images, so because otherwise it's crashing if I try and move fast. Yes.
Better to have more than I don't know.
Oh no, sure. I don't know. Just take some minutes. So Stuart, then.
Yes, dear.
Make a poll.
Yeah.
Yes. because this is our last, obviously, live until next week. I mean, because we are going to do a Drunk Yards live next week during one of the days. So join us for the Christmas, New Year's festivities. Today will be also be our last live as tomorrow. Well, I mean, during this live will be Christmas Eve for me. For those of us in the UK sphere or Europe. So yay for us. And you'll see edited reviews obviously tomorrow, next day from us. But then tune into our Drunk live next week. We're going to look at presents that we've got, talk about all things Trek, etc. Which will be really fun. We're not having the best month of income, so if you can jump in and throw 5, that's awesome, as the regulars do know. We sort of rely on it, and by that we either do all this free content, because we don't like doing any content behind paywall. It's kind of annoying to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Colin, I want to get season 3 too, but it's a little bit too expensive. So I don't really want to spend like £30 on season 3. I'll spend 15 or 20. You know.
I added more poll options because people always bitch and complain. So anyway, you got 2 other options there, guys. So is this your favorite episode so far? Yes, no, hard to say, or I hated the science of it because I know who Trekyards is going to take. So there you go.
That's funny. I mean, hey, options. Because last week we had a pretty unanimous best of the season voting for everyone. And yes, Trekyard has a great comment. Disintegration effect was similar to Lorca entering the mycelial core.
Yeah. And the mycelial network's all fucked up. I mean, screwed up here. I shouldn't be swearing.
Well, you can in lives, but not just
I know. Shh. It's got to be near the end of the live, though, because YouTube monitors the first few minutes.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah.
But also, how many ways you disintegrate somebody? It's the same visual effects team, the same software, the same art, style. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they necessarily have too many ideas for that.
Yeah, well, 74 people here, which is awesome, guys. We're still at 43 likes, though. We still haven't hit 50.
Oh, my goodness.
77 people here now. Come on. Hit the like button. But yeah, we're off to a good start, so we're happy about this.
And please, also, we've got a poll open, but just put in the chat a simple, did you enjoy this episode? Yes, no, meh. Real simple. I want to see the chat blow up with those. Just to, get an overall sense. And I have got the pictures lined up now. We'll just finish it.
Not a banned account, $2. Michael Burnham should be Federation president. No.
Maybe someday, Stuart. Let's not rule that out.
I gotta say, Samuel, this is why I send you the pictures early, so you can do this ahead of time.
Yes, but I have dinner and I watch it right before.
I know you do. I
was editing right before too.
Fine. I won't send them ever early again. They'll be right on.
Send them late.
I've done that once, and I was like, just vaping.
Stuart,
vaping.
have you sent pictures yet?
Vamping.
We're live in 4 minutes. That was great.
24 minutes to go. Sweet.
No, it was like 10. I was like right there. But luckily, your internet was both our internets worked really fast that day, so it was fine. So, Stuart, what did you think of season 6, episode 4? I mean, season 4, episode 6.
I loved it. I thought it was one of the best episodes of Discovery we've ever gotten.
Oh my god!
I've been saying that a lot for season 4, and I just hope that trending.
Good for Discovery. Hey, good job.
Yeah,
it's a nice bar to have.
Yeah. You pointed out it was directed by Jonathan Frakes. I didn't realize that.
That's the season,
but in hindsight and on second viewing, yep, I can see it. It definitely has like a TNG style vibe to it.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we want out of our Trek. Yeah. So, yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. Everybody kind of got something to do. The only thing that I noticed a distinct absence of Jet Reno again. But other than that, even Gray, like they were like on point. And even Grudge didn't bother me in this one. Like everybody had something to do. We've got bridge crew dialogue, and not just "I sir." It was like everybody kind of contributed a little bit, and even Dr. Pollard, the CMO, got some stuff to do, which is great. Yes, bring in those people. So I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Chuck A, who's been a member for 22 months at the rank of commander, says, yes, I like the episode. Frakes is great. Yes, this is true. Jet was on the tree. Yes, this is true. And Tilly was as well. Tilly was absent too, but I haven't been missing Tilly, let's be honest. This is me saying this, so anyway. I'm sure she'll be back at some point.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see our scores at the end and how our breakdown works. So you rewatched it how many times today?
I just seen it twice.
Just interesting. Yeah, me too. I will say, was it different first and second watch? Do you think? Because it is a bit of a dense story in moments.
Yeah, I think it was a lot better second viewing for sure. Most of them are when you know it's coming, kind of thing. And Jason, Tilly isn't on the ship anymore. Yes, we know.
That's the point.
Yeah, we review everything. We know exactly where Tilly is at, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, Stuart has cameras all over her apartment.
Well, hey, shh. But anyway, we even had a mention of Linus, which we didn't need, but it worked out fine. So, what about you? Oh yeah, you're waiting for me to ask. Yeah, what did you think of this episode, Commander?
I always ask you. No, I liked it. It's good. It's I think it definitely balanced the secret source element that other episodes are missing. That's good. It didn't drop that ball as much, but as the season keeps doing, none episodes are bad. Very, very TNG once again, and yes, Frakes definitely gives a really strong grounding to the episode. It's less radical in terms of shot choices most of the time, but it lets the characters be focused on a bit more than whatever. I mean, it's great to not have these action movie episodes. They're definitely listening and give us more of these, character pieces. And of course, cheaper to film in the pandemic time. It's just 2 people in a set or 5 people in distance. I mean, the Discovery set is built for COVID. Everyone's like 3 meters apart. Literally.
Basketball court size bridge.
Yeah, it's the perfect bridge. Now, I will say the first time I watched it, the pace felt, not the pace, but the quality of the episode felt more of a dip. So it started strong, and then as soon as they got into this void, there was once they kind of got past the initial what is it, there was a dip to me of quality, and then kind of brought itself back the last third. In second watch, it is still there, but less visible. But again, if you know the episode, then you're not feeling that as much. Plus, I did go on my phone for a few of the scenes I didn't care about. I was like, I know what happens. I don't need to focus on this, so that probably helped a little bit. So there's a few scenes that don't engage me very much. And I think as Eugene said, the pacing then gets a bit screwed with the danger level, because it's hard to have these 5-minute deep conversations when you have 3 minutes of until death. Not that happens a ton, but there's a little bit of that. I did find the Zora stuff, which is a huge chunk, not overly engaging to me. I'm not super interested with sentient AI for the 7th time. It's fine, I preferred everything with the anomaly. I preferred everything with the characters for the most part. And and certainly the stuff with the anomaly is a bit confused. It's a bit clearer second watch, but I definitely want to debate it with you here, because I think we both probably have different thoughts second time. I don't think I explained it that well, nor presented it that well, but a void is difficult. A blackness of nothing. But I don't think it was a very clear script. I don't know about you guys, but I was certainly confused, and I'm quite a good understander of the science fiction episode-y concept, and I was like, does this make all sense? I'm not quite sure. So I'm interested to kind of work it out with you.
Yeah. Devo77X says this could be heading towards the short trek Calypso. Funny you mentioned that. We filmed a fantastic video on that, which you'll see this weekend.
Yep.
So we go through quite a few options and possibilities with that one. So
if you hate your family on Christmas, Trekyards.
Yes.
Spend 15 minutes. No, seriously, it was very, very good. We had. I think we sort of fixed it, solved it. I've never heard what we talked about ever, and we've certainly had it to the grindstone. Yeah.
Came up with 3 really fantastic scenarios to solve it. So
and like not the sort of the linking to canon way, not like throwing away, just linking it all and making it all make sense. Yeah.
Mark Lawrence, $5.
Hi, Mark.
Very much, President Sir.
Yes.
Just popping in to say hi. Texas is keeping me busy. Are you in Texas, or are you shipping to Texas? What are you doing?
Yeah, talk to us, man.
And Olivia Julius, another one of our presidents. Ooh,
double dip.
Presidents.
Love it.
$5.
Good to see you.
Remember, kids, when you turn off life support, it also turns off message light. Just evacuate area, or you might be dark in there. But life support includes heat, oxygen, grav plating, and I guess light. So yeah.
I just wish you said "and divert to shields."
Yes.
That was a line that was missing, for sure. But they have lots of other procedural lines. I'm not totally against that. I mean, as often there's a few teeny little things that whatever. But yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, do you want to share this?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Skip
Your
that.
job.
And I want 65 likes when I get back.
Oh, pish posh. We'll hit 80. We have 56 likes right now with 100 people here, guys. Everybody hit that like button. Let's try to get to 100. But we'll aim for 80 instead. Well, we'll aim for 100, and if we land on 80, that's fine. So as you guys saw, Super Chats are a great way to get your voice heard. We do read all of them, so please Super Chat your ideas and thoughts about this episode. We will talk about them, and we love the conversation that it generates. So if you want to take part and be part of the conversation, Super Chats are a great way to do it. Plus, it shows your support for the channel, as does checking out the links below. We have the Teespring store, the Teepublic store, some really great Trekyards merch. We have affiliate links for Eagle Moss and discount codes. So there's a lot of ways to help yourself out and us if you just check the description of every video. You can, excuse me. You can also send us PayPal at trekyards@hotmail.com. Just let us know in the regular chat that you sent that, and we will read your comment or question via the email from PayPal. That is another great service that really helps us out, and helps you out as well if you can show your support for one of your favorite Trek channels. That'll be us. Other than that, by all means, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, click the join button. There's a join button there beside the subscribe button if you want to check it, and you can get a rank from anywhere from commander all the way up to Federation president, and it's like a monthly way to support the channel, and those make a huge difference not only to YouTube analytics but also to us on a monthly basis. So if you can, at least check out the amounts and see if there's something that you'd be willing or comfortable to pay monthly. That would be awesome. If you can't afford to super chat during all the lives, that's a great way to support us as well. So lots of great ways to help us out, but one of the best ways right now is just hitting that like button. We're only at 63 and he's coming back. He wanted 65 and y'all let him down. Just saying, we're only at 63 likes, Samuel. I know. It's true. Don't be sad.
I'm sure we'll get there now. Oh, so close. So yeah, let's begin.
It starts with Burnham talking about the past and her tree and all that, and then find out a mission from Vance to check out this rift.
Yeah, I'm happy to zoom past the tree as well. It's fine.
And Book's all upset that they're not out there looking, because this is a threat. We need to go looking for it. We're wasting time. It's like, no, we're doing what we need to do. So, and we hit 68 likes.
But I like this scene, and I didn't realize it was this soon on. Instantly, he says, "Oh yeah, the thing from the guy last week. But it's okay, I've forgiven you for that." Instantly resolved. I told you it was going to be fine for you. But at least it kind of shows a continuity, which is good. And I sort of, because he said we need to go outside Federation space to find answers, because we can spore anywhere. I don't know why they wouldn't have been doing that, but where would you go?
I don't know. That was a really stupid line, and even the first time, but second viewing, it's like, what are you talking about, Book?
It's like you have 5 hours. You're going to spore to a colony that you might know on the edge. How are they going to know any more? Do you know of a big alien race that's more powerful than anything ever that can control the universe? No. Oh, okay. We'll go that colony. If it said, I've been talking to my network. We have a lead in the Alpha Bentaurus sector in the Delta Quadrant. Like, that sort of intro would be much stronger. So it's a bit of a, I love he's trying to do something, but that was certainly a slightly misformed thought process. Given that 5 hours is often just the time it takes to prep the ship. Like they've got a proactive mission, which is go into the damn anomaly. That's huge, and he's so chill about it. He's like, oh yeah, I mean that's not important. This other thing that might not work. Like this is literally a thing that's left behind by it. Like that's huge. So bit of a weird context.
Well, that makes me wonder if the dad character is actually subconscious, because he mentions you should be checking with your couriers, and that's basically what Book says here before anything else. So I don't know.
Well, the assumption is it's subconscious. I mean, that's the base assumption, but we'll see,
Mm-hmm.
But he does mention his dad here as well, so we get the setup. Doesn't like him to his dad, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
Thomas roughly throws in $5.
Thank you.
But he didn't throw it in roughly. He threw it in gently.
Oh.
And he says, "Thank you for the discussion. Well, thank you for being here to be part of it."
Yeah, good. Hope you enjoy it. And what do you think of the episode? And Devereaux has to say, what does God need with the DMA? Wrong barrier.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody saying there's only 11 episodes this season. We heard 13.
We
I
heard
know
13.
IMDb's showing 11, but I don't know why.
Huh.
Maybe they did some tweaking. Who knows? Maybe that's why the mid-season break. I don't know. Anyway. Then we had a great walk and talk with Saru and Burnham. Not Burnham. Yes, Burnham and Saru. God damn it. Anyway, they talk about the mission that they're going on. It's going to be a bumpy ride going in. They mentioned the Enterprise, that noted heated plasma. Voyager charted ionized particle eddies. And then they don't want to use the spore drive because Stamets is pretty sure the mycelial network isn't. It's not a good idea to try it. Let's put it that way. So we got to go slow and bumpy, basically. And yeah, then we get the turbo lift scene where they talk about Zora, and Saru's like, "Did you run a level 10 diagnostic within earshot of the computer?" And the computer's like, "Yes, everything's fine."
I mean, everything's earshot of the computer.
I don't know why they trust computers when the computer is obviously acting funny, and they're like, run a diagnostic on yourself. Yeah, I'm fine. It's good.
No, it's like, say run diagnostic to me.
Run diagnostic.
Oh, I'm fine. You believe me,
Run,
right?
everybody. Run.
No, I ran a type 11 diagnostic. I invented it just for myself. I'm perfect.
Dialed it up one notch.
Just for you, Michael. That's Captain. No, it's yeah. No, and walk talk's great. Saru's good in the scene. He's a much better secondary than a primary. As just like a confidant, a helper. Like he's not getting so much screen time, but it's better used screen time, I think, overall. Like they're playing him as a much more seasoned, older, sage character, but he really isn't. But he works better as that.
Yeah.
You know, he has almost the same experience as Burnham, give or take, years-wise.
Yeah. And this Zora thing, too, they talk about, I don't think the captain really trusts me. And she's like, well, this is undiscovered, territory. And later, Zora's like, I don't think the captain trusts me. It's not important right now. But you need to get through this. What a stupid thing to say. Say, I still trust you, but we need to get through this. I know you can do it. Would have been better than, nah, I don't want to talk about that right now. Sorry, I don't trust you, but let's do this.
I don't want you to kill us. Yeah, and it was a bit of an. I mean, it's a strange thing to focus on. It certainly does give a little bit of HAL 9000 vibes. You know, the amount of inflection, the amount of extraness. But I appreciate, though, that Saru's so like, this isn't right. And Burnham's like, I know it's not. We're dealing with it. It's going to be fine. Like, I do like that there is a good tone here. Obviously, can't go too dramatic. But, I mean, Saru's been on lots more ships than Burnham, I'm sure. And it's like, yeah, this isn't right. And I'm assuming that Zora's being watched by someone from the future team, because Vance can't be allowing this. This isn't normal, unless it is normal, in which case they shouldn't be concerned by it. I'm assuming at some point she'll be removed from the computer, because you shouldn't and can't have a actual creature controlling a ship, because like you say, do you trust me? Well, you're the ship. I mean, you control the ship. You are essentially the ship. So I need to trust my ship, but you are the ship with a sentience. That's different. I trust my ship systems. You have your own clearly you have your own intention, and clearly your own, the fact that you can have fear in something means that you can not do what I say, means that I can't trust you at the end of the day, really. I can trust what the ship can do, but it's definitely a weird one. But at least they kind of have a good tone about it.
Hit like, guys. We're one away from 80, which was my goal. We can easily hit 100, though. Hit like.
And then we get secondaries sort of sweaty from exercising. The set's back. Yay, set.
This is the comic book movie transition swipes. Like, the fuck? What is this? And this season I've noticed it too. There's been a lot of Star Wars
couple, yeah.
swipes.
Super
Not
random.
A couple. But this one was like really like, I'm watching like the first Hulk movie with like the comic book thing. It's like, what the hell? But yeah. General Grievous, $2. Seductive Sam as ship's computer. Oh my.
I have been told by multiple gay people that I'm their favourite. I accept that,
It's fine.
And Ozzy says, yes, no big turbolift shafts yet this year.
Thank God. They maybe learned their lesson on that one. They got rid of the Discovery shuttles.
Did it?
They still haven't closed the shuttle bay door all the time, but most times it's closed now. So
Yes.
they are learning.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, all the secondaries are here, and this definitely gives you the sense of the crew's in it. And yes, they are. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Like how Gray's like pushing the deer, like, oh, you don't want to miss your first, shift on the bridge. I'm filling in for Linus, whatever. But then Gray's like, oh, you know me, I'll be fine here. And then
Hawks.
they turn around and they look, and there's like nobody in, so that sense of loneliness.
And three things I want to call out here. One, I actually took it away from Edge review because I was wrong. The Frankie guy was back at the bar. Really quick, really quick to didn't notice him. I really said. So I said in our other review that I've edited out that once they say all hands to deck, it would be great if then the Ferengi bartender stayed and then Gray was like, so what do you do here when no one's in here? Like a little conversation. And you said to me in the review saying, well, yeah, but he has a station, so. And I said, does he? Isn't the bar a station? He's like, no, it's just some guy who does it in his spare time sort of vibe.
Well, he's always wearing a regular uniform. The bartender wouldn't
Yeah.
necessarily be,
But it would have been such a great moment to have just like all hands to stations. This is my station, the bar. This is my job. Sorry, but
grab the handle for the beer, to the draft beer. I'm ready. I'm at my station. Who's got to run in and have a beer?
Emergency beer on tap.
Yeah.
What beer factor 6? Yeah. But I just wish we need to close with it. We need an interaction with the Ferengi guy because that's a lovely thing to have. And yeah, I definitely like although Adira's been on the bridge before. So it's totally not there.
Never at a station. She was usually there, or they were usually there to assist Tilly or something, or just standing in the background.
Wouldn't that be a station though? I guess not. Mm-hmm. But I would still think if you're there to help Tilly, it's still a station. I guess you're right technically, but it feels like they've been there enough to be on the bridge. It feels like an odd comment. And Gray was great, although we said this is not you're a crew member, you've not got a posting, and you've not got a role. We kind of seem to be going back to Trill, so it's kind of already it's like, well, you haven't got a purpose here. At least go back to your quarters, I guess. But yeah, it's quite sad. Like we'll go to the holodeck. I mean, everything's a holo room. Hang out.
Yeah. But so here we get the mission. They're supposed to go into this subspace tear and just find any indication of what the DMA might have left behind. They go through a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Nice and procedural, nice and focused. The whole crew gets a vibe here. It really brings up the mood to very Starfleetness.
And it looks like the shuttle bay door is closed.
Yes.
When they go in with impulse, so that's a good thing.
And they're very lacking in ship shots this week. They have a couple, but this is a nice shot. And just the color. And yes, the Eye of Sauron. I mean, you can't get more Eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
But it's a good shot. I mean, they go in and even Saru says, other ships that we've detected it, something like this, these are things we're going to deal with. And they go in, a bit of rumble, but then...
All's quiet. This is exactly when, as a captain, I'd be like, all right, have your finger ready to turn us directly around from where we are to come in directly where because I don't know what's going to happen right now.
Or full stop, at the very least.
And you think that if Detmer was a good officer, she would have already had that figured out. Because later she's like, any direction I go in could take us deeper in.
Just reverse course, though.
I know, and then they mentioned the triangulating position and all that.
Just
reverse.
I can't even do it. You can, your own course.
I know.
Just reverse.
I know.
The thing's not moving. That's only a plot point. Now I also thought it was odd here. They say, "Show me what's on screen," and it's like, babe, this is a window. This is literally a glass. This is what you're seeing. Why are you asking for? Show us what? No, you're seeing it. This is a window. It's not a view screen. There isn't turning on. It's always on. You can't. It's never gone translucent once. So I don't know why that was an important moment of it's a fucking window. You see, there's nothing. And certainly Void vibes and Voyager. And I do think certainly
yes. I
got a lot of previous episodes of Trek little moments of feel, which is good. That's actually a perfectly good thing here. But a lot of parallels, I thought.
Yeah, it's just dead quiet. And yeah, I definitely got the Void from Voyager feels for this one.
Although better episode, but
yes,
it was a full story. So it's not that hard to achieve when you have a single sound line. But But yeah, I love the Bryce. Let me hear the universe. Because sometimes using silence is awesome. I really like that moment. Well, I don't know why you would expect to hear anything in subspace. Because if they're in a... Because that's the thing, where are they? Subspace is a separate layer of the universe. There isn't things like ships and planets. There isn't planets in subspace, so you're not going to hear that. I don't know what they expect to hear. Like, does warp make a noise? Warp's a bubble of the universe, a layer of dimension. There isn't stuff in there except... You know what I mean? I don't know. But that's why I thought they were traveling through the rip into another part of the universe, because it's a wormhole thing. But if they're in subspace, then they're still where they were. They make it super unclear. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, yeah. It's weird.
General Grievous, $5. If every room is a holodeck, imagine the work for lower deck ensigns going from room to room to clean up biofilters yet. Not how biofilters... Don't get me started.
Oi.
Oh my god. That hasn't come up in a while. I think you're all responsible for your own at that point. It's like cleaning your own bathroom. If you really want to go there, so. Well, I love how Book here is like, I'm powered up, I'm ready to go, I'm gonna go look around. No, just chill the fuck out. We're sending a dot. But, 5 minutes. Oh, grudge. She said 5 minutes. Chill the fuck out. You might die. And then, yeah, sure enough, the dot goes out and just screams in pain and dissolves. So it got eaten. Did it, though? No, it didn't. That's technically really inaccurate.
Oh, yeah, super inaccurate.
But whatever. Go with that. It was a cool scene, though, with the dot, I gotta say. That's what dots should be used for.
For murder, apparently, because it screamed.
Just turn it off. It's like, oh, okay, we're not gonna listen to screaming. Okay, fine.
Just pull the plug this thing, let it die. It's like, oh god. Just jump on. I like Burnham in the chair. She's commanding. She's strong. She's making right choices, good choices, well thought out choices. She's really, really hard to complain, which is great. They've finally found the nuance. I kind of giggled at, I like the Book stuff. He's trying to be proactive, although I didn't like he's not in the hangar. You'd see the hangar doors, but he is in the hangar.
Yeah.
But they forgot to put...
Well, he might be, because he might have it just displayed on his view screen, which is not a window, I guess. Even though it is a window.
Well, yeah.
Let's just go with that. Maybe the lights are all off in the shuttle bay.
Because the door wasn't open when they went in. But he says, I'm all padded up and ready to go. But if the door's not open, we should still... the way it's framed, he's already outside, but he isn't. And the doors are closed, so it should be light. So this may... And yes, if it's showing the outside, well, then why is he showing a sub-outside pictures in a minute? I think they just forgot to put the CGI hangar bay in. Honestly. I don't know why you'd send his ship out anyway. There's not much more it could do that Discovery can't. It's, hyper advanced, etc. But I like his proactiveness, and the docs did too.
I love Adira here, because they're like, it's possible that the DMA has done something to subspace itself, turned it toxic, which is great. Destroy subspace. David Stelzer, $2. Do you think Gray will take over as the counselor?
No.
I don't either.
Not at all.
But it's funny. It's funny the way Dr. Pollard shoots down Hugh once or twice. What he's saying is like he's inexperienced. Yeah. Like, you didn't do a good job there. What he's actually saying is you're gonna be fine.
Well, in fairness, he's been practicing psychology for the last few months. She's been doing medicine, and he was dead. So, he's a bit rusty. So here's the disintegration. It's definitely got this blue-orange vibe, which is a bit odd. And it was interesting. So it flew out like 6,000 meters and then hit something, the edge, they say, and it was disintegrating, right? So the edge of this thing, the pocket of subspace they're in, I guess, is disintegratory worthy, although this thing also has no shield, so it's not hard to disintegrate.
Yeah.
And then, I thought the eat thing was weird because of all the emotive language. I thought that was going to be a setup for, it's a living entity. Maybe. It was destroyed. But then damaging subspace, are they actually damaging... Because if this is a rip to another universe or galaxy, are they actually saying they've destroyed subspace here like other things in TNG did? Can you no longer warp through here? Because to warp here through subspace, is it actually damaged? I mean, it is... how big was this rip? Was it, is it the size of the DMA device? We don't know how big that was. Is it a light year across? It's clearly at least 6,000 meters wide, long in one direction, but if they went through this rip, that was the edge. But if it was the edge, they could just have backed up and gone straight through. So it clearly doesn't. The rip doesn't take them to the edge; it takes them somewhere else in it. So they don't know the diameter. And it's also 4 minutes away from an edge, but not the original edge, because they didn't go the same place. The hell? I'm just saying.
Yeah. Tyler T, $10.
Boom.
Really enjoyed this episode. Besides the Kelvins from TOS, and I think a species the Borg encountered, as stated by Seven. What other extragalactic species have we heard of in Trek? More OO, please. More emotion. I mean, probably lots in beta canon, like Starfleet Battles has the Andromedans and stuff, but other than that, there's probably a few. There's probably one or two references here and there, but I can't think of all of them right now.
It's meant to be beyond rare. That's the whole point. Because remember, the ones that we saw in TOS, they took the colony up to like warp 26. Literally impossible by the logic of their of their technology. That's how advanced they were. So, wow, It's cool though. It's very cool.
Yeah.
But it's a good setup. For sure. And then they start sciencing. They start talking. They have a great idea of sending a flare. Although they fired the torpedo from the saucer, which isn't where torpedo tubes are, but I guess better than nacelles. But whatever. I guess they have torpedoes in the spinning mycelial drive section for some reason. That's a smart idea. But it is a smart idea though. Send it on the same course, the same speed, and then they can compare the amount of time it took to reach the edge, and by doing that they work out it's like a second closer. And obviously it's still tens of thousands of meters, so they know it'll take. And she does a great math thing. 2 seconds per whatever, so they know exactly how 33 minutes, which I think is how long the episode is, which I found kind of cute, the length of the episode. Okay, so now they know the edge of the anomaly is now closing in on them. So is it getting smaller? It must be, which means by the end of the episode they'll be encased.
Realize it. There's no references. They could have gone in, and because they were doing impulse, and all of a sudden just went still. They could still be moving towards something. That was my other guess, but I always got the feeling that was closing in on them. But this tear that they're in, which is a subspace tear, is actually starting to heal itself. Perhaps.
Yeah, that's good.
Because subspace would naturally, I assume, heal.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think they would know their own inertia. I mean, they don't need exterior scanners to know they're moving. That would just be.
They would need that though. They would need a reference of some sort. They have nothing. It's just a void. There's no stars. There's nothing. You wouldn't know you're moving.
No, there's still space though. There's still physical space. There's just nothing in the space. There's still blank space. So you'd know we've moved 10 meters from blank space. Like you.
I wouldn't.
Oh, I
disagree with that 100%. Unless you drop like a probe in a stationary position to see if you're moving.
I think you could. I don't know. But I do like the idea. But if it is coming closer, then by the end of the episode, they're now encased in the edge, which means they should just be able to punch right through. That's not what happens. There's a bit of a plot holiness when we get to the end, which is confusing. But I like the flare idea, and it's a nice, gentle, slow scene.
Photonic flare. Yeah. General Grievous, $2. DMA is what happens if you interrupt Doctor Strange. Yes. Moving on from that though, this scene where divert power, it's like, okay, Book, you can take care of that. I got, I don't have any extra power tucked under my chair. It's a cute little line, but I'm glad you're here to help.
Yeah, the fact that Burnham asks for power and he says no, and then she's like, no, I meant it, do it. It's like, shit. Although it's like, there's always reserve power. You don't need all of your power all the time. Given the warp drive's not on because they turned it off, they should have lots of spare power. Like, they haven't got the warp drive on. They have lots of reserve power. Anyway, but I love their gentle chemistry, these two. I didn't realize them saying we never talk is foreshadowing from them talking lots. I really, really like it, actually. But yeah, they certainly don't play the power thing right. Like, they have a ton of free power. But anyway.
Yeah. Then we get Gray. He's talking to the computer. Because of what's going on, and the computer's kind of vague about what's happening. And then I've stopped receiving external sensor input, And of course, Gray can relate to that because Gray was essentially invisible to everybody for a while. So I love that. I love that. Even compares it later to like me telling you how fast my heart's beating and how much air I'm taking into my lungs and stuff. And I love how Zora gets fixated on a goddamn replicator. Replicator's going to fail in 15 minutes. What the hell does that have to do with anything? You're just internalizing everything and just reading all the things you can, which I thought was great.
That's why you don't have a computer that thinks this way.
Yeah.
Because a normal computer would just have algorithms, etc. Yeah, and I like. So I think the scene is just too long. That's my only problem with it. It
Little bit.
It absolutely just cuts the pace just to an absolute standstill. I like the set, but it's very dark and gloomy in a nightclubby way. If it was in a science, I don't know. It just stops the plot. I do like the idea of that. The point of a guardian is to look after these amazing, long-lived Trill symbiont creatures that commune with you in emotion. Like it is this magical thing that, as they say, combines spiritual and science. So I really appreciate in the later scenes, like I'm playing this game because I'm trying to actually help this living creature. Great, doing a guardian job. I think it's too long a scene. I don't really care about Zora per se yet. So yeah, could have just halved the scene. Would have made it much better. But
kind of agree.
I like the idea. Just need a bit sharper because every other scene's just so much more zazzy for the most part. This one just drags.
Zazzy.
Yes.
110 people watching. 93
fantastic.
likes, guys. We still haven't had 100 likes. 7 more likes. Hit that like button if you're just joining us. And yeah,
feed me. It is, but until we know the payoff, the setup.
Yes. I thought it was well done. I mean, I didn't even think this was too long of a scene at all. Maybe just a tad. I don't think it really messed with the pacing too much. That's just me. I think it all worked out very well.
Yeah, but you like the Zora stuff more connected to Calypso. I just don't care as much.
I even thought Gray was fantastic in this, and I'm not the hugest fan of the character. Yeah, but I think he did really good.
A little bit overacty, but I guess also not used to talking to people. So I kind of like it does make sense. Like so, just sharpen it down a bit would have been better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, why isn't the chief engineer doing any of this? Why is Stamets? He's not chief engineer. Why is he doing power stuff? This isn't his job. He's a mycelial specialist.
I know.
He literally, this is not his skill set. What the hell is he doing? Where's the 32nd century chief engineer that knows how these systems work? I'm sorry, this is not his job. Do your fucking job. And there's now 2 of you in engineering that can do your job.
And you even have Book, who's not even an officer down there doing it. It's like, yeah, somebody's not earning their pay.
And do you remember in season 1 where the spore room was mega secret? He's like a civilian. It's like, pfft. I know he's obviously could do the spore drive, but it's just funny how these things change. What happened in this scene? I don't remember.
I'm gonna have to shut. If you want any more power, I'm gonna have to start shutting down essential feature functions.
Which is fine. And then turn off the phasers. Like that's fine. You can do a lot of that.
This is after they've ordered the extension of the shields, and extended shields are down to 25%. So Burnham bring them back in 10 meters. It's like, okay, that's kind of weird.
So they're extending the shields, which they did do in episode 3 with the space station.
Yes,
so they moved them out 8,000 meters to push against the disintegration field, which is coming in closer. And they're already down 25%. But if the point is to have strong shields, you're not slowing it. They never want to say that's slowing down the thing. You just push against it, but there's no indication that's doing anything except just getting weakened. So I don't see the point.
I think if it was like hitting the shields, there'd be like buffering or like something happening. Later, there's sparks everywhere. The same sparks everywhere on the ship. It's like, what is that? That's like the flamethrowers on the bridge? Well, ridiculous.
But no flamethrowers. Frake said, "Fuck off."
He did.
There's
flamethrowers. They're just between the camera and Burnham later, and they're like walls of flame. So
yes. Oh, and Phoebe, where is Jet? Literally, engineering should have been and it's great because Stamets could have helped the mycelial stuff with Hugh, and Jet do all the engineering stuff. It's just functionally wrong to. Yeah.
Kara Shep puts in $5.
Thank you.
Haven't watched the episode yet.
Spoilers.
We'll tune in tonight. Merry Christmas, guys. Hopefully they find Giorgio inside that DMA.
Jesus.
Well, Merry Christmas to you on your rewatch of this.
Yes, Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
If you're still here. But thank you so much for the super chat. And I am Meaty throws in $10, which is amazing. So thank you. Do you think we will see Discovery go transgalactic this season? They haven't really mentioned the limits of the spore drive for distance, have they? They have not. It's an unlimited distance. They've said that before. Yes. Wherever the mycelial network is, which is
the universe
everywhere. Yeah. So yeah, I think we will see some transgalactic stuff this year. Yes.
100%. I honestly see them going to the Great Barrier next week,
which we called. We called this was from something outside the galaxy. So.
I know Discovery's 13 episodes. They confirmed it on Trek.com, so it's 13. I mean, I thought it was, so. But yeah, absolutely. So I love this next little brief moment because Saru is whispering to Burnham.
He sounds like he's scared almost, though. This sounds like season 1 Saru for just a second. Like, we can't complete our mission. We should get out of here. And then it kind of solidifies again, just for like a brief moment. So yeah, I don't know.
Because he basically tells her his honest opinion. You know, they're on the bridge. They're not doing the awkward and embarrassing, no talking field. You just listen. Okay, we're running out of options. X, Y, Z. I think it's such a refreshing moment. It feels so genuine, honest. And the first time you don't know what's going to happen, but the second time, the acting on her face as she's deciding what to do, so palpable. The second time, and she doesn't want to give up. Like giving up, they rarely do it. And when she says, "We're abandoning the mission," especially her, when she always finds a way, everyone's reaction is like,
yeah, and everybody's like, "You can't. We haven't got the answers." And she's like, We'll find another way to get them. Get us out of here."
I can't imagine on Voyager, Janeway says, "We'll give up," and everyone's like, turns to say, "But Captain, we can't do this." It's like, just...
Well, it happens in every series.
It was very dramatic.
Orders the ship away instead of saving somebody, and everybody's like... So yeah, it does happen, but in this instance, it was kind of like, meh.
It's just a bit obnoxious to be like, "But Captain, I'm saying stuff you already know, to try and convince you from stuff you've already thought about as the Captain." Yeah.
That being said, it was great to see Burnham do that.
No, it was wonderful.
Actually be a captain and not be Burnham for a change was great.
No, it was fantastic.
which she's been doing
consistently,
immensely well this season. So yes,
you know, it felt like a struggle, but a real command decision. It was. I'm sure Frakes was so instrumental in this moment. It's such a Picard, Riker. You guys matter more. I just wish we had been given any context. Up to this point, we know as the audience, you can just go back through the tear. We know that because we've not set that up. They came through a tear. They didn't move. So we should have set up at some point earlier, the tear is not on our side. So at this point, it's easy to get out. We just haven't done it yet. And that, I think, is a big problem this week.
The more I think about that, the more I'm wondering if they've got inertia and they've been moving towards whatever killed that dot. Because they go in an impulse... Sure, they shut down impulse, but they have no visual reference for anything to see whether they actually initially stopped. And if there's nothing there, like literally nothing, there's no regular space to make sure that the systems all work properly.
But
because this is where Detmer's like, I can't plot you should have had that backout plan initiated right
instantly.
Away. At least attempted it and said,
"Yeah, that is
getting us anywhere." Because then that's her job. That's her only job.
Well, she's saying she never looked at a panel once. Literally. Although she would have seen there's no information.
Yeah.
She's been slacking. She's been on her phone the whole time, playing Angry Birds Space Edition.
She's like, "Yeah, we'll get out of here." And she starts doing a thing. She's like, "Wait a minute, I have no galactic reference." It's like, well, what? You should always have an escape plan as a helms person. You should have it plotted in.
Maybe she's amazing.
Have it on one of the... I know. Have it on one of the sidebars. So as soon as the captain orders it, if they need to, just tap it. There you go.
She never once said the anomaly's closed behind us. Never once. The only thing I know about that, I know what you mean. I do agree in concept, but if you say, stop impulse power, then you'd automatically do the reverse inertia to stop, which means because they would know exactly how much force.
But they didn't say stop impulse.
But they would do. They're not going to keep going into the unknown.
They didn't though. They went in impulse, bump, 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 and it was just quiet. Still know everybody just stopped.
But they still know what force they put in forward. They should still know mostly what their force is back. Like, the impulse is such a precise number.
It is, but when there's no references, and there's literally a void of everything, including interstellar gases and all the shit that is in space, there's always something there. They even make a point of saying that.
Sure.
You don't know if you're moving or not.
But like you said, they didn't stop. So they know they're going 9 forward, so just impulse 9 back. Now you've stopped. Might not confirm
I
you
assume
stopped.
I'm assuming she stopped as soon as it went still. But
I
there was no
assumed.
order given. There was no confirmation
Yeah.
from Helm that we've stopped. Nothing. So as far as we know, they're still on full impulse this
Well,
whole time.
Like I said, it is messy. When you break down the proper like Trek science of it is messy.
Yes,
I also
yes.
wish, and this would have been such a lovely moment, if kind of like in the Basin Rift and Nemesis, they do a lot of the lots of fire. I wish they had done lots of torpedo flares, and then as you said, because when Saru says it's coming closer than we think, that was the moment to send two at the same time, and note that the trajectory, the speed is different. It's like, oh shit, we're still moving forward.
Yeah, they should have.
Because if you send multiple out,
They,
you can compare the speeds
they
and be like,
should
oh
have.
no, we're traveling with them. Shit.
They should have sent multiple flares out like in every direction to see if it's closing all around them or if it's just something coming towards them.
Well, and then at least they can create a relative like zone
Yes.
of, because then you
Map of where things are. Yeah.
yeah, you know, if 8,000 that way, 8,000 this way, and if you send a second one out, because you could easily make yourself stop by sending out 3 probes, getting a triangulation, say okay, we're stationary. So I think that was definitely missing a trick. So I would have loved it if you say momentum. We didn't realize we were traveling because no space. Yeah.
We got some super chats.
Okay.
Sebastian, aka Space Daddy, throws in £5.
Thank you.
Or €5. Thank you. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. The new Saru is allowed to be scared.
Yeah.
I know he is.
Yeah.
I know he is. It's a little, slightly, for a second there, it was a little out of character almost.
I thought
But-
perfect. I loved it.
IMEC $10. I imagine station keeping thrusters would be used. The reference system they mentioned to keep them in place. Without them, they may not have worked.
But Detmer would know that instantly.
Yeah, this whole thing of get us out of here. She's like, oh, okay. Wait a minute. I can't. Just back us up. We didn't move. We didn't do anything erratic. Just
Well, like we're at the edge of this thing already.
we were. Yeah.
We were. Yeah. And also, they extended the shields. So they know exactly how far the shields are in any distance. So they know where they are into resistance. And, they know they're at 10,000 kilometers. They know the anomaly is not where they were. So they should, like the shields would have hit the breach. Because they're extending shields out. They know.
Well, they did. They're probably not. You don't extend your shields all the way out because that weakens the shields as they go further. If you want to just extend your forward shield, that keeps your side shields and back shields strong. It weakens the front one because the more you extend it, the
But why would
weaker it
you?
is.
Why would you assume the anomaly is only at the front of you?
Well, you wouldn't.
You
That's
wouldn't.
why I'm surprised I didn't check.
Yeah.
So there's just missing lines of dialogue.
Lots of
here
missing
for
lines.
movement and for what the hell is going on.
And it would have really amped up the tension.
IMEC throws in $10.
Oh, thank you.
I imagine. Oh, I read that one already. Never mind.
Still, thank you.
Station keeping one. Sebastian, aka Space Daddy, throws in another €2. Samuel, everything is null and void in a void. Smiley face.
Yep.
Full reverse. Beep, beep, beep.
It would have been interesting though for them to fire some photon torpedoes and see the explosions and what would happen. What would happen if they actually added matter into the, because they're able to send out a dot, so they weren't at warp. They were in a subspace layer that can maintain matter.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Like because if you add gas to the anomaly, surely you could then track where the gas is, and then, like they could again. There's ways out of this much easier. And how cool that'd been to like a Death Blossom effect. They fire like every torpedo in every direction, make like a big,
Awesome.
How
many people are going to get that reference?
Guys, you get Death
Few of
Blossom.
our audience.
Is that in Blu-ray? I'm
107
gonna look.
107 it is, I think. 107 likes. We need 120 at least. So 13 of you guys hit that like button. Let's get those up. We have 113 people here, so we should easily
is.
be able to do that.
Good.
Yeah.
Maybe I should buy it for the lols.
And this is where they come to the conclusion that we need to jump out of here now. And Stamets is like, that's not a good idea. I need to monitor stuff.
Yes.
And Book's like, hey, I'll help. And Stamets pauses for a second, like, oh, that's my job. But then he's like, okay, go ahead. Which I thought was really well done, actually, because he's kind of had that, problem with Book a little bit, being able to do his job. But I think it was well played. Again, perfectly done. The writing, the acting, everything here was awesome. So
I agree. I thought that was a beautiful moment for him, and probably one of his most human moments.
Yep.
For 2
he
seasons.
took a second, he paused, And he thought, okay, this is the best thing. Goes and grabs a spore canister.
But it wasn't even a moment of, I don't like this man, it's just because of, okay. Like, he just sort of...
Like, we're in the unknown. If I know the network probably better than anybody, even more than you,
yeah,
maybe.
oh yeah, exactly. I could do this.
Moments. Yeah.
It's like
it's like if you know you're going to be in a car chase, do you want to jump in the driver's seat or the passenger seat? Well, as a driver, you want to jump in the driver's seat. If you jump in the passenger seat and somebody else is driving, you're like,
then you can probably shoot out the window. Yeah,
I could probably do better. You know what I mean? So.
It's just wonderful to see him as a team player. All of us, like, really strong team player, and just really, really good moment. Because that's all an acting choice. That line itself is very simple, but he gave you everything. Yeah, very refreshing.
A lot of people are getting the Death Blossom reference, by the way, which is good.
Good stuff.
I'm proud of you guys.
So I knew this
General
wasn't...
Grievous...
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
no,
sorry. General Grievous, $2. If you want to add gas, just have Taco Bell night. And Thomas Ruffley, again, with $5. Thank you so much. Greetings, Starfighter.
Yes. And Thanasis, are you going to do a video about Discovery manifesting feelings? Yes, we've talked about Zora already.
This weekend.
This weekend. Aha! Yes.
It's a great video. It's a great discussion. I want to hear your thoughts on it, guys. We might even do a live one of that at some point.
Yeah. So I think this one was really good. They're very sure they're going to get out. I mean, if the mycelial network connects all the universe, there's no reason they shouldn't get out. And the effect of it spinning, cool. And you can see, and I appreciate you can see that because the spores are coming out. It's a subtle thing, but you can see them kind of shifting and the holes. There's a lot of sub stuff happening. You can see inside the effect, and it keeps spinning, and then Book gets electric shocked. It's a little bit goofy of an effect, but it's all good. And then emergency stop, and oh no, it's yeah, Stamets has control. Things went bad, and you get this kind of visual of the network, and I'm not sure quite what I'm seeing, because the network is spanning the universe. I don't think this thing can eat away at that. It's a different realm of the universe. I was assuming they just can't get a clear signal in this thing. They didn't explain it, and they didn't even try to. But
they might in another episode, though. They might say with our latest results, this is what's going on.
But simply says, yeah, no, we're not using it. You're not doing it, and I appreciate the dread feeling in this moment, because they have, they've not even talked about the tear they came in on. They completely ignore that fact. They literally ignore it. I don't even understand the exit point, which we'll get to in a few scenes. But you do genuinely feel a sense of, well, that is what makes Discovery special, out the window. And we've got, just like with Crusher in the artificial reality thing, it's coming in every second. We've only got 27 minutes, then we die. It was good. It was a good establishment of, oh shit. I thought it was really, really effective, actually.
General Grievous says, Burnham will have a good cry with the ship before season end. I will donate $40 if I am wrong to Team Trekyards.
I mean, maybe she's not cried yet.
Yeah.
I thought she did cry.
So then we get introduction to Book's dad. And we find out Book's real name is Terex, whatever.
Pterodactyl?
Anyway. No, yeah.
Yeah, we get this reset moment, and then it kind of plays in. Great costume, hell of an awesome white beard. He is rocking that shit. Although I think his acting is sort of wooden, and it's kind of like the not Section 31 guy. Yeah, it's like it's characterful while being really underacted, but still fun to watch. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's good though. I thought it was random, but it was good.
Yeah, and Book says you're dead, and he's like, yeah, and you didn't even show up to the funeral, so I wasn't sure if you knew that I was dead.
Dad, the lithium, hard to come by. I couldn't just pop home for that. There was a burn. Were you there?
But his dad gives him shit for basically, sitting on somebody else's ships and somebody else's ship and letting himself be ordered around.
It's pretty
commuting
harsh.
With mushrooms, what a waste of your gift.
It's legitimately pretty harsh. His statement.
His dad even says that, it closes out by saying you should be hunting. You should be out hunting, implying that yes, or just strike Quajon, which is kind of what they're doing. So, shut up.
Yeah, but he's like in a very sort of we go and kill moment rather
Yeah.
than as a team. You know?
And I love how Stamets rushes over and Book's like,
Yeah.
hey, you see that? And Stamets like, yeah, that was like such an insane like jolt. It's like, no, I was talking. No, shut up. Did you see my dad? No.
I was legit.
It's never addressed. It's never addressed, but it was so well done.
But I was legit so thrilled he didn't hide this from the crew, because normally Discovery Season 1, Season 2 he would have. But the communication level, again, this guy, good job, this guy.
And he wants to get him to sick bay to make sure everything's
Oh no,
okay.
it's fine.
Like,
He's fine.
It's like, no. We'll let you decide that.
Which, great. He accepts it. Moving on.
Yeah.
Good.
Patrick James throws in a $35 super
Oh
chat.
my God.
Thank you so much. That is amazing.
Oh my
And he says, Merry Christmas to all of Trekyards. Merry Christmas.
Merry. God, thank you. That is amazing. That is amazing. Amazing.
9 more likes. I want to get to 120 likes now. 120.
And just to remind you guys, we'll be doing the Drunk Trekyards Christmas edition between Christmas and New Year's. We'll look at our presents. We'll do some costumes. I've got some costumes there. May have a new costume. Who knows? I do. And some new props. So tune in for that one, and some just like that certainly help us go through Christmas, and might save our December. But that helps. Thanks so much. But yeah, I like this next scene. This is a good next scene.
Yeah, sick bay. We find out he had a full sensory hallucination, and it's basically the percentages are dropping, and if the trend continues, that'll be fine.
Well, it's his brain. It's been super. He has a certain amount of his brain that connects with the universe.
We get that explanation later, but yeah.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was this bit.
No.
Okay.
Just that his dream center of his brain is like firing at like 10 times the capacity that it should be for a normal Quasianian, if that's what they're called.
Well, they're called Book now because they're all dead. Oh.
Yeah, and this is where the CMO kind of jumps in. Because he was like, yeah, we've seen a decrease in it, and if the trend continues, that's good. And then she's like, so what he's saying, and she kind of like leans in like, I'm the CMO here, listen to me, is that you'll be all right eventually. And Hugh kind of gives her one of those like side-eyed little smiles, like, oh, thank you, I've been taking care of everybody for so long, now somebody else is doing their fucking job now.
I mean, I'm sure this lady like heals people all the rest of the time, and then he happens to be in this one time. Oh, you're finally in sick bay, are you, mate? Oh, good to see you, Doctor. Sorry, it's a BBC joke.
I am Misi throws in $10.
Thank you. Oh, you're kicking ass.
The crew still seems so inexperienced, especially now that they are dealing with typical Star Trek issues.
Yeah.
It feels like a season of Star Trek for a change. That's great.
Not wrong.
So here we get the comparison of how the Mycelial network normally looks to how it looks here in the void. And
not sure what I'm looking at, but it doesn't look good.
And then, the whole, it's like Book touched a live electrical wire, if we still used wires. All right, cool.
It's like you probably do still use wires, just not copper. I mean, you have pipes in the corridors, you little bitch.
Well, even in TNG, they were all like fiber optic.
Yeah,
so.
You have wires.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'm just making a joke there. But I mean, yeah, it's fun, and it's I guess it's just so electrified. I was kind of expecting it to be more like I thought he was going to say, you try to connect, and because of the damage, the Mycelial network said no. Like a conscious choice of, I'm not accepting this damage. I thought would be what he was going to say, but it's fine.
General Grievous, $5.
Thank you.
Why must they bring Star Wars into things and make Book a pound shop dollar store knockoff Jedi? I in before he moves things with his mind and builds a saber.
I mean, he's not a Quat Malat, so he doesn't have a saber. But hey, wouldn't that be great if he can have a saber of light? But they do say in the scene that what happened to him actually is there's something here because there's energy, and the energy came from the interaction with this anomaly and the spore.
They say that later.
What do they say in this scene?
Just about the Mycelial network and the fact that his dream center's lit up like 10 times more than it should be for somebody like him.
Okay, there's a few scenes like this.
That's it. Yes, just let me lead things because I got the subtitles. You'll be shushed. I actually did my job this week. All right. Next scene is great because they talk about Zora's name and how it means, what does it mean? Dawn or new day. And then Gray's like, yeah, I picked my name and it's just I liked it. So, good scene, I guess. And this is where Zora's like, this is not just a game, is it? And we find out that, you know, Gray actually has a plan here because he's trying to be a guardian. So it basically, it put Zora's background functions back in the background so they're not distracting her. And that was part of it because it's reintegrating for Trill. This is like to keep their mind like clear and focused. So great. I loved it.
Yeah, it really deepened the scene, made it feel more oomph.
And there's a problem on Deck 17. Well, outside the hull of Deck 17.
There is, which sort of complicates if they can actually detect things or not. I mean, of course they could. It was just there's nothing to detect. That's what I
think
said
anything
earlier.
in contact with the hull, yes.
Yeah, I mean the sensors aren't broken. There's nothing wrong with the ship. It's the fact there's nothing to detect.
But Zora hasn't notified anybody because Gray's like, you need to tell the captain. And
his response.
Well, yeah, I have insufficient data.
Like, well,
I can't identify the cause. It's kind of like the TNG episode where the benzite,
yes,
benzite,
yeah,
whatever. He was doing his thing without telling anybody. It's the same thing. You don't want your ship doing that. Yeah, there's an anomaly on the hull, but I don't know what it is yet, so I can't tell anybody. Like, no, that's not how that works. Anyway, moving on. And then she notifies the captain that there's something going on with the Deck 17 and that there's basically a decompression happening, so there's going to be a hull breach. And Dr. Pollard's on her way to check on Linus and his heat lamps. And actually, Burnham asks, is there anybody in the area? Yeah, Dr. Pollard. But when she turns the corner, there's 3 people working in the corridor.
It's a very busy corridor.
Are these people not important enough to contact and find out what's going on?
Nope.
We needed somebody of a certain rank or higher to check on you guys.
It's like the lady who's walking around the area versus the yeah. It's that's a busy corridor. I don't know about you, but I thought they were going to kill the Doctor here.
I did too.
Like clearly the setup. And obviously I've cared more than extra number 37, but she's not in it enough to really have that. But I was like, oh no, you're going to kill the Doctor. But this I don't think works particularly well as a scene because it is getting through shields, which means the ship's fucked. But the shields last all of the rest of the time, and also it doesn't burn through the ship when the shields are down to kill the captain. I think it's just to have a moment. I don't think it's a particularly well done scene. And why is the guy fixing a thing? It doesn't mean anything.
She's like, transport now before it blows, and then you get sucked out or blown out. Ha!
It's a really hollow scene. It's kind of like when the guy died in the first episode on the Shinjo. It's like, oh, a guy we don't know died in a way we don't care about. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, this wasn't good. I mean, the CG's good. Yeah. It's a good. It's a pretty fail of a moment, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Listen, Jericho, you need to watch our episode on Zora on the weekend because he says you can't since Calypso is the original discovery. Dun dun dun.
All discussed.
Answers.
Yes.
Solution.
I will give him one credit though. This shot of you see the hexagon field looks beautiful. How 3D it is, a 2D effect. That was freaking beautiful as a CG. The way it distorts light and everything, I thought it was just gorgeous for a force field.
Mm-hmm. Andrew Sepp, $2. Great callback to Relics with the transporter buffer. Yes.
We'll get there soon. Absolutely. Yes.
And this is where Gray's like, no, I got to tell the captain that you noticed something on the hull before you said anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that scene's about.
So he just walks onto the bridge, the most classified part of the ship, and no one cares.
Yeah, I thought that too, but yeah, I wasn't too worried about that.
I mean, Zora even didn't tell him stuff earlier because he's not a crew member. Like, you need to have access to, like, a turbolift is being used here. But I mean, they don't care. Why should we care? Moving on.
I mean, when you say it like that, that sounds bad.
I know, it's just they don't care. But then Zora appears in holographic form, and everyone's like, "Oh!" I was like, "Eh."
Is this you, Zora? Yes.
I mean, has not everyone known the computer as a? I don't know. I don't really care. Sorry. Everyone's so amazed. It's like, you know, you're in the 32nd century. Everything's been amazing. This is not that impressive. You know, the sphere data was alive for like a year and a half now. It's not, just saying. Sorry.
So this is where they determine that if they can generate a signal that'll pierce the void, they should be able to follow it.
Which is instantly shot down.
Well, not really. Burnham gives the order, start brainstorming ways we can find a signal out of the void. And then takes Gray and Zora into the ready room.
To which Gray says nothing. Not one word. In the ready room. I'm just saying.
Oh, right. Okay. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
And now we're back in sickbay.
Okay. But I did find it funny, because I thought it was that they never send a signal to pierce through. They make particles resonate inside the void. There is no signal outside, so they never do it. Because Zora just says, I can't do that. And it's like, I think it's because you're not trying, because you're having a midlife crisis. But I liked how there's an idea. They shoot it down. Orcs.
Yeah. Then we get Book getting yelled at by his dad, saying that he should be hunting down the people that killed Hui Zhan, and I used to laugh at you because you said transforms had spirits, and blah, blah, blah. Follow your gut. Don't do what she tells you to do. And this is the whole, you love her, but her agenda is not your agenda. She will pick Starfleet every time over you or Hui Zhan. And I think this is, again, foreshadowing that, and he says you're going to have to make a choice at some point as well. So I think, yeah, it's going to come down to Burnham's going to pick the Starfleet solution, and Book's going to want to do his own thing at some point.
But it's like, of course you would, and he would expect nothing else. I know this is like his deep down feelings, but it's not like nothing we don't know here. It makes sense. But I like how he does yell at him, and they're watching the nothing, and what can you do? He's hallucinating. But it's a good little scene. Then you get a great little moment of everyone sort of working together. I wish it was longer than 13 seconds.
Although Bryce really shoots Reese down like right away and kind of just shakes his head at him. That was the same thing as the daughter of the Flares.
I do wish this scene was longer. It would be such nice to have like a round table discussion. They're trying, kind of failing, but.
And then Washington has to help with put up blast doors with programmable matter, and Sarah's like, no, just sit the hell down at your station.
I loved Saru didn't like a washroom here for two reasons. You learn the reason later, but that would apply to every other situation in season 1, 2, and 3. You've never reacted, which means they invent it for this scene to give you something to do, fails, and B, you haven't got an engineering set. She could go there anyway. There is no main engineering on the ship. You can't like I do instantly. It's like, well, she's never gonna go there. You haven't got a set. So, what are you gonna do? I thought that was they should have cut this moment. I'm sorry, didn't work. This washroom stuff.
Matt Boardman, $5. Every time they show the Discovery Bridge, it pulls me out of the episodes. It lacks the grace and shootability that previous bridges had. Oh. That's harsh, man.
Like, it's great to be on the bridge, but not on this bridge. If this was the Enterprise D bridge or the Voyager bridge, it would shine. This is definitely lets them down every episode. I'm sorry, it does. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Then we get the ready room scene where Zora's like, sorry, it's my fault that guy got killed.
It's like, no, it's not. No.
Burnham's like, you're feeling guilty. And then I fear you've stopped trusting me, Captain. Have you? To which Burnham's response is, that doesn't matter right now. Yeah, it absolutely does matter. You say you still trust it, whether you do or not. Because it's help right now. Because the next line out of her mouth is, we need you to get through this. Don't just ignore the fact that you've lost all my trust. And just,
In fairness, though, Zora has internal sensors, which means she would know if the heart rate changed if she's lying. So I think that actually...
This is true.
So I think that's actually a better thing. It's like, you don't lie to Hal.
She's already pointed out that she's noted little micro expressions and stuff.
I think that works fine. I think you're right, because it's like, it's better. It's more a case of, I can't lie to you, better not to dwell on it, move past it, because doesn't trust her, because there's no reason to
Okay, I'll buy that. I'm wrong in this instance. So yes.
No, it's just, this is why we talk about it, because we come up with ideas. But yeah, Grace says nothing. I bet they cut I bet they cut blind dialogue for time, because literally it's of no purpose in the scene. I kind of wish like Burnham had left, and like Greg said, you did good there.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, this is where Burnham tells the story about what happened when she was a kid, and Sora's like, well, you were a child. There's nothing you could have done. I am a sentient organism inside of a supercomputer capable of running countless probabilistic scenarios.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, but if you're just a budding AI, you're still a child, is what I would have said. But I love how Burnham's like, instantly, like, you're talking about logic. This is about emotions. It's like, yes, thank you. Because she was drilled with the logic when she was growing up on Vulcan. But she's learned to incorporate both now. And I love it.
I do kind of wish there was an obvious missed opportunity here where she says, but you're a child. Burnham says, and so are you. You're just finding yourself. You're just growing.
Yep.
I hadn't thought about that, Captain, because you weren't thinking emotionally. I thought that was a missed opportunity because it was such an obvious retort there. It's fine. It's just I thought that would have been a nice moment because she is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she might be 2,000 years old of data, but you were a floating orb of matter. You weren't you. You're pre-you. Although I like how there's a very, very, very small awkward moment because all Grey does is look at Burnham, and there's obviously nothing there in front of them, and so the eye line's always like, well, I'm not going to look there. I'm going to look at Burnham. kind of nodding to the dialogue from off screen that someone's reading them. It's just like when you've got nothing to do. It's like it's just a little bit funny. Just the wide shots are just a bit funny because it's so focused on the two of these characters, and Grey's just like it's just a bit cute. But great motion tracking with they always do motion tracking really good.
Just been doing it the whole time you were talking.
Although, let's I forgot we had a poll, which is great. Is this your favourite episode so far? Very mixed poll. Wow.
Yeah.
29% yes, 23% no, 36% hard to say, and 11% I hate the science of it. That's very split, but mostly undecided.
Mm-hmm. Patrick James, $10. Personal point. I'm having a hard time remembering when you schedule live events. Is it possible to put a simple calendar of upcoming events on the website? If it already exists, then ignore this. We don't use the website ever. Be a member. Just join the Facebook group, the Trekyards main page Facebook group, because we post all of our lives there every day that we're doing them earlier in the day, so you know when they're coming up.
But it is worth noting that we do lives often, and they are always, except rare occasions, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. GMT. So there will not be a live unless you're doing random late night, but that'll just be him. So if you're thinking, are they live today? It'll only be at this time, and it'll always either be on Thursday
or an hour early. Sometimes we start at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
But that's still pretty rare. But yeah, occasionally we'll always be
so
like.
If you tune in at 5, you'll still hit one.
Yes.
Maybe halfway through.
And then either always Friday or Thursday, depending on if you've got real life events. But it's 9 times out of 10 gonna be Friday. So that's pretty much a guarantee, and we always try and do them at least 2 times between Monday and Wednesday. So they're pretty predictable. You'd be hard pressed to if you just check your phone at about this time, and they should be scheduled at least earliest an hour earlier, like latest. So just check on the YouTube. It's always at the same time. We'll be scheduled early, so you should be pretty happy to find. And I'm going to do a new poll as well.
All right. So now we are. Yes, this is great. The sick bay scene where it's like your hallucination is going to end within about an hour, and Book's like, "That's the best news I've had all day."
His acting there was such a good line read.
Yeah, I know.
Such a real because I was hoping he wasn't going to take his dad's words to heart, and you can tell here he's like.
Yeah.
It's like the little devil on my shoulder. Nope, I'm happy to have him leave. So I really like that.
Yeah, and then, but it gets better because in this case, your Simpsons turns out to be our solution. And then they talk about the particles in Book's brain being a clue, and that they come from only one place, and that's the galactic barrier, which means whatever punched through the galactic barrier to get here is outside the galactic barrier, which means it's not something from inside our galaxy. So it's we're training these particles from the galactic barrier that are here, yeah, I mean, we don't know the species that made it, and Book even says all this time I thought it'd be an enemy that we'd know. I mean, we've theorized on a few of them, but we've also said outside the galaxy. So ha. Hold on.
And I've got a new poll as well, because I really want to know what you guys think about this. This was my favourite moments of the episode, though, the Great Barrier reveal. Because the particle makes sense, logical, great. I was kind of waiting for him to say omega particle or Phaleron particle or something that we know. It wasn't going to be something random, just the way it was set up. But Great Barrier, because this is not new to them, right? This is the edge of the galaxy. We've known that for forever. Kirk might have only gone there once, so that hasn't happened yet. But they would now know, Gary Mitchell, they'd learned about that. Well, that would have been a nice nod, you know. But actually, knowing that second time round, it kind of works. His brain was supercharged because the Great Barrier supercharges his brains. It makes you god powers. And so he got a small amount of strange matter, which supercharged that part of his brain. It actually really works without being as direct a reference. But yeah, past it. I so god hope we see a very literal recreation of the Great Barrier from the remastered or the classic. Just faithful. I need to see it. Don't change it. Don't mess around with it. Just show it. It's lovely. Give us that again. And please vote on the poll, guys.
But they figured out that the place with the highest concentration of these particles is where this thing punched through. So that's what they're going to look for, essentially, which I don't know how they'll do without sensors, but that's okay.
Well, they're pinging... Well,
not yet, they're not. They haven't come up with that yet.
No, but no, because it's not that there was... They couldn't detect anything known. But I guess, because we've often seen full spectrum scan, or normal scan doesn't scan for everything in the spectrum. Whereas suddenly full spectrum scan, I have detected. So if they tell a computer what to scan for, they can still detect it because...
Yes.
Like, they can scan, there's nothing to scan, but apparently there is. You would think, though, in a void of data, if one particle exists, that would be picked up, because a lack of anything, but I guess they don't. I mean, it's quite... Why do you scan for the Great Barrier radiation here? It's a unique phenomenon. Blah, 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 blah. Although where's the tear? Has that not got radiation? Is that not where it popped through? Because they didn't say we're going back to where we came from. They're going through another point. Why are they going towards the part?
No, I think they're going through where the tear was. That's the implied there was. That's where it punched through subspace. That's why there's a tear. That's what they came through. That's where the highest concentration of the particles.
They don't say that directly.
They don't, but if anybody with a brain can figure that out.
And why have they gone so far away from it while staying still?
Because they're probably still moving and they don't realize.
Again, they haven't said that. I know, but
they haven't, and they won't say it.
I know. That's because they should say that. Okay, when you go back, like that would be the first thing to say is we need to go back towards the tear, which you also would have surely detected the radiation. It's poorly explained completely, and you surely would see the tear because the freaking tear through space. Do you know what it would look on the other side? Like orange vagina Sauron.
Did.
Why is there no tear on this side that you can just see? There's definitely poorly formed bits here, as I've expressed several times.
Yes. Moving on. Matt Morgan, $5.
But you would agree, poorly explained.
No, I don't. Also, if you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit the bell icon and set it to all reminders.
He's just being annoying.
You should get a notification about the live.
He's just being difficult.
2 hours later or a week later. But yes, YouTube sometimes does its job, sometimes not so much. A lot of times I'll be sitting, honestly, on the couch at night at like 2 a.m. and all of a sudden I get a notification on Facebook that Samuel just posted in a certain group. And I'm like, oh, cool. And it's our live post that you've already done at the beginning of the live.
That you were there for.
Even Facebook takes forever.
Yeah, we have part of the reason we haven't got as much for a subscriber base as we should have is because YouTube does not want us to. Yeah, they've never prioritized supporting us. And, you know, it is what it is. We're not very shareable.
We'll make it through. We'll persevere.
We won't go through the same tab, but we'll go through something.
Mark Lawrence, $5.
Thank you.
Just got back since I finished the episode just now, so we're guessing the Andromedans, right? They can get in more TOS references when they do that. Possibly. We'll see.
We'll see. What did you think of the episode? Did you like it? Gives your official review, you know? I want to know.
Yes, this is where she walks to the bridge and says, we got to weigh out an extra galactic energy particle.
Which is cool.
What's the explanation here? Hold on. Now calculate what type of signal can possibly reach it at distance. How are we doing on shields? We've got 10 minutes left.
Is that a shield power? Is that a distance until it comes into contact with us? Is that until they fail?
It's shield power. Doesn't matter at this point. Adira says, don't get bogged down in the technical stuff because it's just They're trying to move the episode along at this point.
But they're done so well, Stuart.
They didn't, though. They just left a lot of shit out.
But
at the
they
beginning,
didn't
which
this
a line
time.
of dialogue would have fixed.
Yes. They've done so well with other episodes, though.
So anyway, these particles will resonate at 218 kilohertz exactly. And then Bryce is like, that's sonar frequency, and they talk about sonar, essentially range finding, echolocation.
I wonder if that's
and yes, I know sound doesn't travel in space, but it even says translate the responses into an audible ping. So translate any sensor feedback into an audible ping is what they're doing. So they're not actually using sonar. Sorry, guys. Trekker not. That was the one that was complaining about it, yelling at us earlier. They're not really using literal sonar in space. So
yeah, it just happens with the frequency, which is cool in its own way, and the fact that idea doesn't even know what it is. It's so basic that completely outside the realm of knowledge. Although, you know, the Tal symbionts are 1,000 years old, and so the sonar would have existed at some point on the Trill planet. But whatever. But no, it you know, if you're still making a thing vibrate, it'll still vibrate even in a vacuum because you're making it vibrate, and then you're scanning for a vibration, which is still happening. It's not creating sound, but then just to give the crew an audible sense of ooh, yeah, there's no sound happening. It's just you're translating the sound that would happen if there weren't in a vacuum. It's fine. Yeah. It works just fine. I mean, and it's not even that relevant. They don't once they say it, they move past. It's like, oh yeah, that way. It's like, okay, like that's it. There's not really anything there. There's no visuals. There's no flying towards it. You know, it's ignored straight away pretty much.
Yeah. Mark Lawrence, $5. This episode could have been an email. Felt really, really padded out. Oh, I disagree.
Interesting.
I totally disagree with you.
Interesting.
Mark, you're usually a pretty smart guy. What's wrong? Did you not get enough sleep last night?
Oh.
I gotta disagree with you. I'm sorry.
Dear me.
Anyway, we find out.
Hey, well
done,
Colin.
Shields will be out before they get there, and that the plasma barrier is going to basically destroy the ship.
Which is not the same barrier as the thing that's currently encroaching the hull, even though it is the same thing that's currently encroaching the hull.
Heat the ship beyond safe levels, yeah.
A different barrier.
And then they pause and say, so this won't work.
Yes.
Unless everyone goes in the pattern buffer. And I love it. It's like reference to relics. And the risks aren't insignificant, but there is files on record of pattern buffer.
Should have said Scotty. I think that would have been the best. You know, that would have been... Because, you know, for them to know this... They should name drop Scotty, I think. You know, but yeah, it was good. Hey, I logical, and I will commit. You know, we'll get into that moment in a second. But the fact that the crew, without any hesitation, agrees to something that none of them have ever heard of, with I mean, yes, they're more advanced pan buffers, but there's no hesitation. They trust. Yep, this thing that we've never heard of before, we'll do it. That is a TNG level. We're doing it. You know, so I commend them for that sort of. It's super risky. They don't know. But yeah, she'll stay behind and not pilot.
Captain always stays with her ship.
Which
and Zora's like, I'll appreciate the company.
Yeah, I'm all for it. And also, everyone beam into the buffer in pairs, you know, in a group, so that you're not alone. It's like, okay, sure.
And everybody just does it. Yeah, she does a shipwide announcement. Everybody in sickbay is like, all right, cool.
Bye, peace out.
How do we do this?
Just tap a button.
Or do they we still don't know how they transport anywhere. If they just think about where they need to go. But how do you think about a pattern buffer? It's like, that's nothing.
So they'll be. Oh, and Washcombe says sorry to Saru and tells her a story about her friend, and it plays hollow. Like, this is not the time. First of all, you got 10 minutes of shields, 4 minutes of like, you already couldn't make it anytime. So it's a poorly edited moment. She doesn't play it that well. It's like, I finally get something to say. Sorry, skip. Sorry, guys.
Turd Ferguson, $5. I told you it was the Kelvin Attack Fleet Andromeda, or Kevin Uxbridge in dire need of nuttage. Jesus Christ. Moving on. Metallica fan 1442, £5. I know the Great Barrier is shown in TOS and Star Trek 5. No, Star Trek 5 is the one in the center of the galaxy, not the outer one, so it's different.
And that was a prison to keep God in.
Yes.
So, just saying.
Where is it actually located in the galaxy? Did enjoy the episode overall. It is basically the barrier that separates our galaxy from everything around it. Yeah, it's everywhere. Yep.
I'm freaking excited to see it.
Yep.
And guys, vote in the bowl. Vote in the bowl. Vote in the poll.
Quick scene on book ship with his dad. Kind of like, I like what you did with the place. I like the wood paneling. It's like the certain kind of the Tulu tree or whatever.
Yeah.
It's classy.
Classes, yeah, that made me laugh.
This is where he's more of a dad.
Yeah. Well, he's accepted as Book is processing his own mental emotions, the dad is changing his tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's a good scene.
And then he wishes him a happy birthday, and his dad disappears, essentially.
Genuine little good sad scene. Because he even says, love is not a weakness, and dad says, well, that might be true. Like, it's such an evolution of scenes here. Yeah, it's good. And yeah, birthday's sad.
Well, he does say, I don't know if this is actually you, but I'm choosing that to believe it is.
Yes.
That means Leto and his brother Kahim are still.
Kahim. Yeah,
they're not gone after all.
Yeah.
It's not really. And then he says goodbye.
It's sweet. It is sweet. They do a good job there.
And then he says goodbye to Burnham.
Another sweet scene. So I was thinking he hasn't got a comm badge. How's he going to beam? They addressed that. But they have a lovely little. Basically, yeah, we might genuinely die. This is a genuine like we might die, I love you moment, and it's lovely. I thought, like I said, the dad was going to convince him, but no, he's fully like, no, I love you, babe. I love you too. Like, lovely, wonderfully written, wonderfully acted. Well, written is like 10 words, but just wonderfully acted. And he beams away via his little comm badge pennant, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Matt Boardman, $5. When they mentioned the galactic barrier particles, I thought perhaps we were going to see some Gary Mitchell stuff going on at some point. We still might.
Still might.
When they get there. And Iamisi throws in $10.
Oh, thank you.
Burnham should have used Book's ship since it has its own shields. Yeah, but it would probably be destroyed really easily.
No, in the shuttle bay. Ship inside a ship.
That would have been very smart.
That would have been so smart.
Yeah.
No.
And
beam a work bee inside his shuttle, inside a ship. And they have 3 layers of shields.
And your suit.
Yeah, because if the hull's been, I mean, if Book ship is destroyed because of the heat, Book's pissed. So it clearly wasn't destroyed. That is such a good point.
Then we get the moment from Tron, where they're walking down a hallway, I guess.
And once again, it was obnoxious in the trailer. I'm so glad it was such a simple moment. We moved past it. I'm absolutely fine with it. And boy, that bridge, man, it's freaking big.
And yeah, this is
life support off. Everything goes dark. Sparks but no flames. Much better.
Much better.
You get some nice CG shots of the outside of the ship. Bridge again, just fucking huge. Lots of talking with Zora, like it's full on. You can do this, babe. Try, succeed.
And Zora even sings to her to calm her down.
Well, is that before or after they go in? I think it's after because at that point she's on fire.
That's after.
Yeah,
that's once there. But yeah.
But no, they go into the. I did like the effects there. I thought it was good. The thing being hit, but I don't understand what they're doing. Are they going through? They're going through the edge, but they're not. They're not passing through the anomaly, because surely the anomaly is a rip in subspace. They had to go through a hole specifically. They didn't have to go through this on the way in. Why did they have to go through it on the way out? So this felt like they're
because why when you leave the planet do you not have to worry about heat, but when you're entering the atmosphere you have to worry with the heat shield because your ship heats up. Same thing, same reason. You launch a rocket, it just goes out into space. Boom, no big deal. You bring it back in, you got that. You need the heat shield because of the friction of hitting the atmosphere.
So saying it's a one-sided dimensional disintegration.
Yes, there's nothing here. It's a void. Okay, there's nothing. Everything's gone. Space, there's actually particles and stuff. So it's like going from nothing. It's literally going from space in a rocket ship to Earth. You're hitting the atmosphere. So as it's going back into real space where there's actually things, that's how you can explain it really easily. That's exactly what's happening here.
But are they traveling through subspace into space then? Are they dropping out of subspace?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so the barrier between subspace and space is disintegrating their ship via heat, is what we're saying.
Because they're not at warp, using subspace that way. Yes, probably.
Because I took it as, and I kind of thought the second time around,
and they had shields going in but not going out, says Daniel Flood, which is a good point.
Well, they do have shields at the start, and it's on fire, and then the shields go down, and then it's more on fire. I mean, the fire was irrelevant. The fire, they have shields that then lose shields. Plus, I'm sure she'd develop more powered shields because she'd load life support. But I was kind of picturing at this point that they're in a little bubble, in essence, a bubble of nothing, a Subspace bubble, and so they're saying, right, we are going to puncture through somewhere, and they're just like pushing, because there is a shot here where it's literally pushing against a thing, which I thought was a really great shot. So they're clearly like trying to push out. So I thought they were just kind of getting out of this bubble. And like the way the neck just disintegrates is really graphic. I kind of wish we saw more of that. How many crew quarters are getting killed here? How many possessions are getting destroyed? I mean, I really hope we get a sense of the ship got really effed up next week. Like, this ship is not what it used to be, you know?
No, I agree.
Yeah, fire.
Anyway, Burnham, before she passes that, says you gotta be responsible for the crew, you gotta bring them out. And then Sora sings, there's something.
And obviously, if she does say the environment suit's going to fail in less time than it takes to get out, like 4 minutes to get out, which means she'll be dead, because the environment will fail, she will be killed, the shields are down, so the bridge is going to be burned away. I mean, she must have been beamed into the transporter buffer after she passed out. She must have been. She would be dead otherwise.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, that's explicit, you know, yet they don't explain it.
Yeah, Zora asks how you deal with fear, and she says, I just make decisions, and so I love that. But yeah, I assume she probably got beamed out.
Yeah. But it's cool to see the bridge on fire. I like
and not the flame-throwing thing behind it.
Like, it literally has got inside the hull and is destroying beams. Although there's a slight visual effects glitch there with the fires going through a console. Because it literally is inside the bridge, and you can see the windows cracked. I don't know, I was kind of hoping the window would melt and the entire front of the bridge would burn through and then to beam out, like kind of Nemesis style. I thought that, because I mean, how long can it burn? Like, something's burning, it's damage. Damage equals destruction. I was kind of surprised how limited they took it. I was expecting a lot more there, but it's cool. But damn that, yeah.
Eric Sween, $5. Merry Christmas, Trekyards.
Merry Christmas,
Eric. Thank you so much.
So yeah, she doesn't die, she passes out, she wakes up, and it's a bit abrupt. We didn't see it leave the anomaly, we didn't see it destroyed, we didn't see it. It's not a good edit. It needed something else. Bit sad. I guess it's expensive to do.
Anyway, everybody made it out of the pattern buffers. We're fine.
Everything's good. Not a problem in sight. Yeah, we're all fine. It's like, oh, okay. Cool.
And we got a great shot of it in dry dock.
Well, hold on. And also Burnham isn't burned, even though she burned to death in her suit. And she has a little bit of this. I was expecting to see her in full burn makeup. Or like CG burn makeup, they take it off her or something. So bit of a letdown, but okay. But yes, then dry dock with a very wide angle for some reason. Like, it's super, super wide. But let's do a zoom in on this then. Because certainly the saucer got effed up. But really the whole front of the ship should be gone, shouldn't it? Since it was going front forward, I mean, the rest of it should be fine. And I'm assuming the nacelles will also be burned away. Look at that scaffolding. So much scaffolding. It's weird to have that much scaffolding. It's cool though. And we're wondering if there's going to be another refit, or like another update, or some such. Oh.
I would think so.
I hope so. Yeah, it's cool.
Trekyard is making the point that it's not fire, it's plasma, which is different. So.
I mean, it's still burning, like fire.
Burning. And plasma fires are awful. We hear that multiple times in Star Trek.
Yeah. Hey, if it looks like a bird and sings like a bird, it's basically a bird. But I love this panning. And Saru says, wow, revocable matter. Magic technology. Really quick and efficient.
And repairs things with such finesse.
Although I didn't like then, it's like, oh, and by the way, how are you today? It's like, what? Why are we both standing at this window then? Like, it's such an awkward transition of, God, that thing. Hello, man I don't talk to ever.
Well, I have a feeling that Book was staring out the window and deep in thought. Saru was walking by and thought he'd stop for a second. Talk about the programmable matter, like, how's the weather? And then go, what's bothering you? Because that's what Saru does.
I wish we saw that walk up, because that would have been better, but I like that thought. It just feels like, this is a film, it's a TV show we're in. Hello! Yeah.
This is a great discussion, though, about rage.
Yes, it is.
Saru still feels rage every time he sees the Baul because they killed his family and killed his parents.
Well, because he never saw them, and then he fought them once, never saw them again, and is now friends with them. Like, that contrast of factors. God damn, yeah. Ah. Absolutely. I would not be a happy chappy.
Book says you seem so balanced, and he's like, well, we're both justified in our anger, but focusing on it prevents us from achieving other greater things.
Which is ironic, because the scientist guy said, anger is a great motivator. Anger. Yeah.
But that's why he ends it up with, it's a difficult thing, it's a struggle, but it's a worthy one. Which some people that focus on anger for other things, it's different motivators. So, yeah.
And then we get this, and then the angle of this is not the angle we saw a minute ago. The ship is more to the side. It's the same CG shot, it's just the ship should be to the side. They're straight on, but they weren't in the last shot. I guess it could spin, but it never does spin. That's a bit of an awkward, like, we've only got one shot, let's just reuse it, because we've got one shot. Oh, and then we get a Tree of Life scene I guess we care about.
Well, Zora wants to make her own tree, and it's got all the crew in it.
And that's the end.
That's the end.
It was I sent you a text.
Good, though.
I sent you a text saying, we need like another scene. It was a very unsatisfying ending to an episode. It just kind of ended.
I disagree. I thought it was good. That was good.
It was cute, but it needed one more thing. It needed like Vance or something saying, your next mission, Great Barrier. It needed some hook. I was like, okay, so just very, very gentle. Just sort of just peters out. You know? But the whole end is a bit quick wrap-uppy, or very quick wrap-uppy from the...
Which is TNG style.
Hey!
We've said that many times.
Frakes knows it well! No, but it definitely lets itself down. That last, 4 minutes is definitely some of the weakest. I thought going in to other reviews some of the stronger stuff, but no, it does let itself down. The weird... I think maybe they've cut some stuff or ran out of money to do effects or something. Reshots? I don't know. Bit strange. I
don't know why everybody's talking about plasma in the chat. We don't care.
Well past that, yeah. And that is episode 6? 5? 6? And what do we want them to do, Stuart?
We want them to super chat their out of 10 scores for this thing. I will read those after we give our scores. If you just want to put if you have money to super chat and you just want to put it in the regular chat, do so. The commander will read it. We want to hear your thoughts on it for sure. So,
and put your review score out of this season, which now we can review. There's been 6 of, and all of Discovery.
Yeah. And we have 134 likes. I want to get to 150. That is another 16 likes. We should be able to do that no problem. So hit that like button. And another $50 would be awesome to close out.
We're getting close, guys.
So a couple 5s, a couple 10s, kind of save our month. Would be awesome. And it is Christmas time. And that means nobody has money because they all spent it.
Including us. That's why we need the money. Because it's on our families.
If you can and you're able to, please do. If not, that's cool.
I don't know if my mum was watching this review or not, but I did spend a bit on Christmas presents. Cause I went to the UK big Christmas market at the last weekend, and I got us some stuff. Like, oh, that's a real present for you because it's so hard to buy for. Yay! Nice. So I spent a little bit on her, But when you find a proper thing, it's like, yes, spend it.
Yeah. So overall, I really thought this episode was great. The Jonathan Frakes direction was amazing. It definitely felt like a Star Trek episode and TNG. Everybody got something to do except for Jet because she wasn't even around apparently.
Despite a very useful episode for her.
Even seeing Dr. Pollard around was awesome. So yes, we need more of that. Gray was great in this episode. Great, get it?
Great.
She wasn't great, he wasn't great. Aiding Onion, but it was in fact great. So Book's father was interesting. The relationship between him and Stamets and Hugh and all that in sickbay was really well done, and I just thought it was a fantastic episode overall. I'm sure there were some scientific things with the anomaly that are confusing and need more explanation, but it's also Star Trek. We don't always need an explanation. At least they didn't technobabble the crap out of it. But yeah, as for score-wise, Okay, for this season, this is going to get a 9.2 for me because I really thought this was a great episode. It's probably one of the highest ones. As for all of Discovery, this is going to get a 9.7.
Whew.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, 9.4. Let's dial that down, Ted. 9.4. This is a really good episode, and this is a good episode of Star Trek, let alone Discovery. So when comparing it to all Discovery, it's got to rank high. So that's where we're sitting with that. Yeah. How about you?
We'll put in your scores and Super Chat scores. Normal scores I really want to see, and I'll read those out. I really want to know all your scores. Put in them if you can. So for me, yeah, it's not my favorite of the season. That was last week still. But it was definitely a TNG episode in spirit, in vibe. It was true ensemble. It was a true bottle show. It had a lot of good character moments, actually good character moments. Whereas other ones have had like yeah. Also had strong stuff. Stamets was great, and great with Book. And I don't often say Stamets was great. He was great. Burnham was great. No hesitation on that. The pattern buffer move was great. Love the reference, the Voyager stuff, the Great Barrier. A lot of really nice moments where they thought it through. And then there were lots of moments they clearly didn't think it through, and it was definitely unclear. But it's hard to represent. They needed one digital scan where they like made a digital representation of this is how big this anomaly is. It's 8,000 meters, and and it's coming in. They need something visual to give the audience a sense of what we're doing. So they definitely missed a few tricks. I don't know if it was deleted scenes or they basically let themselves down in the execution of the A plot, even though it was a good A plot. So I'm going to knock on points to that because it definitely should have been better on that. But strong, Freights did good, no fire on the bridge, apart from the fire on the bridge, no flamethrowers, and this could be right out of TNG. Obviously without the grander context of the DMR, but right out of TNG, just swap the characters around would be great. I'm going to give this one a solid 8.5 for this season. And yeah, it has to be a 9 for all Discovery, because it beats all of season 1 and most season 2 like that. So I mean, clearly. 8.7. 8.9, sorry. I won't give it quite 9, because I think, again, I enjoyed a lot of season 3 a lot more. Just because there's something really cool there. But yeah, solid. Not 9.5. 8.5. But no, good. Yeah. But I do think, like I say, there's definitely some plot problems, but hey, that's a classic, both for Trek and Discovery. But it easily could have been fixable, So there you go. Put in your scores, guys.
Oh, yes. Patrick James, $5. Thank you for the great review. Enjoyed it greatly. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And check out our stuff this weekend, by the way.
Yes.
JR Dragon, 2006. Puts in $10 and gives it a 9 out of 10, even though I didn't put it in the super chat portion, but I am paying attention here. So, Trekyards absolutely hated it with a 1 out of 10. But anyway, and keeps harping on about it. But yeah.
Yeah, and guys, we're $26 away from a really good number. So that's 5 5s. Just saying, 5 5s if you can.
And last super chat slot. Right now it's JR Dragon, but somebody want to snipe it? Go ahead.
And definitely Trekyards. I do think one big thing to improve would have been coming out of the tear. Nacelles are gone. Source is half destroyed. Signal hull's fine. Impulses are just working, and the impulse engines sort of flare off as it starts to drift. You cut to the bridge. Yeah. Burnham's not there anymore, and Zora says, "I did it, Captain." Cuts to black. Wakes up. Thing.
Perfect.
That would have been such a and it is. The ship is just gone. That would have been perfect to kind of tie up those loose ends. A lot of those loose ends. Seriously, that would have fixed like 4 of them in one shot. Yeah. So that would have been a thing. Or Zora beamed her to Bookship, as they said, as a way of a life raft.
I just came up with, how we saw the tear with the orange around it, the plasma essentially. Could be that it was closing, it was healing, and that's what they were going through. They didn't go through that the first time because it was open more. Could have been closing, and that's what they were going through because it was the same orange color, it was the same kind of plasma look. So, just trying to. It would have been cool, with what you just said with the ship being damaged.
Yeah.
And then you see the rift actually goes and close.
Which would explain why it's retracting. Like they were going towards a.
Like
I said,
it was closing in on them, and that's what they were passing through was those edges that were all plasma.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like literally, it was a oval rift. Yeah. Okay. But that would have been
Would've
also
been-
been helpful for them to have. Yeah, again, it was missing those space shots, which are cheap, relatively. Yeah, but yeah, good job still. Just need a few more things. All right, let's see the non-super chat scores. We'll say those out first. And last $28, we don't have to, but we're there. We've got a 6.5 out of 10. This is Jericho. 9 out of 10 for Kieran. 8.5 for the season so far. Alan Parr, this was a good episode. 7 out of 10. I still preferred last week, but the standard, the season is massively above previous seasons. 8.8 to 10 for Grudge because she's back, says Ozzy. And Grudge was fine. Yeah, add a bit of emotional weight. Eric, 8 out of 10. Metallica fan, 8.5. Stanley's 8. Patrick James, unknown, out of 10. Helpful. Devereaux, 9 out of 10. JR Dragon, 9 out of 10. Tenzingari, 8. Dragon, obviously, as we said, 1. Mark, 9 out of 10, but could lose 30 minutes, which is most of it. Colpo, 8 out of 10. Very Frake style. Yes, I would agree. We're between our two scores. That's very good.
And Trekyards says, I hate hating it, but being honest, I think Sam is spot on. Oh, so this is where I get labeled as he absolutely loves it, he's a shill, and I love this episode, but I'm still, I don't know. People take shit out of context, whatever. Metallica fan, 1442, £5. Thanks for the review, and yeah, it would have been nice if the AI did that. Yeah, that would have been awesome, actually.
Yeah, it didn't need much. And that's why, I think, 8.5 is very fair.
Can we get 8 more likes, guys? If possible?
We should be able to.
8 likes and $8 would actually be cool.
Yes.
Right now, Metallica fan 1442 is the last super chat, and I think this was a good one. At least season 4 is moving in the correct direction, and we're happy about that. So.
Well, there's something we said, I think, about Lower Decks as well. If it's predictable by us, we're only predicting things that we would write ourselves. And so every time they do a decision that's like, we would think that's a really good tick, because we're not going too far. So we were right about man-made, you're right about disappearing, right about Out of the Galaxy. These are things we've definitely said early on. That is a really good step. They can drop the ball, but those are good, strong steps in the right direction. And I'm getting the sense, Stuart, I'll be honest, 2-season arc. It's fucking slow. Really freaking slow. 2-season arc. I know we're under halfway, but we're getting close to halfway. 13 episodes, 12 is halfway. It stops at mid-season break. Unless they ramp up the speed to Warp 9 in the last 6. And to be fair, that's a lot of hours, in fairness, but boy, that is the slowest 6 we've had in a long time. I'm not against that at all.
Lower than the lowest deck says, I haven't watched it yet. God. Just started to watch it when I saw the YouTube alert for the live review, but the first 5 minutes, I'm hooked. Hopefully you enjoy it and watch the live later. It's really good, so thank you.
And for first 5 minutes, so great. I really enjoyed the first 5 minutes.
Trekyards has retracted every one of his messages, so...
Damn.
Don't know what that's about, but...
And guys, we're $12 away. That's not a lot. Well, that is awesome, though. This has been a really good live for us. I really enjoyed it, Stuart. I know we had a good debate in our editor review, which are different thoughts, because they're much our first reaction. So tune in for that as Moran. Yes, it's now Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve, Stuart. Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve to you.
Thank you. In the real time zone, the legitimate... Oh, Christmas Eve, oh, Christmas Eve. Your camera's now in focus. So yeah, any Christmas Eve plans? What are you planning?
For tomorrow, we always go over to Sylvia's family's place.
And do you have like classic traditional drinks and dinner from their part of the world, or is it more? I don't know.
A bit of everything. Just a great long day of opening presents and eating food and hanging out. So.
Okay. Is that your main present day? Because they're more the family, or do you have your own present day at the house?
Right. No. Christmas Day is our day.
And is it only going to be the 3 of you now, or are the other kids coming back?
Well, they come back for Christmas Day.
Oh. Like for the presents bit, or just for the
yes.
after? Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. They all show up in the morning, and then Thomas and Nicole only stick around till around just after noon, and then they go over to Nicole's parents' place. And Cassie's going to be here all day tomorrow. And, yeah.
I expect pictures. I will send you pictures.
Alrighty then, not a problem.
and we'll see if we can Skype each other on Christmas Day. 'Cause we try really freaking hard.
Right.
Doesn't last year failed miserably.
Happens sometimes.
But most other years we're very good at it. I remember once you like, look at my tree, Sam. I'm like, I can sort of see it. I mean, you're not doing good camera work, but yeah.
Metallica fan 1442, 10 pounds. Awesome. Great way to end out.
Yes.
Discovery for me seems to be following a common theme for Trek shows from season 3 to season 4 onwards. The shows get better, except TOS.
Well, new showrunner Michelle Paradise knew what the hell she's doing. Made a big difference. I'm just saying, she was the difference. She was the difference. Good stuff.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have yourselves a merry little Christmas. Stay safe.
Yes.
And we'll see you on the weekend because we do have a lot
you'll
of...
see us. We'll have fun.
Well, yeah, you'll see us on the weekend. We've got some great videos coming. And then next week, the same time, same station. It'll be on Thursday again. Our review, not the Friday.
Yes. Yes, that's New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
Yes.
New Year's Eve.
And we'll do a Trekyards between the Monday and the Wednesday. There isn't really much of a leeway there, but we'll do something because we really freaking need to for the live. But something. And also Marie's going to be here as well.
And I'll probably be doing a live reaction. Well, hangout later this evening.
Yes,
So join me for that. And it's because it's Christmas. It'll be like buy me a drink, like a $5, $10, $20, and I'll have a shot or whatever.
How would you feel about the Monday, the 27th, day after Boxing Day? Because that would make it a bit easier for me afterwards.
Should be fine. We will talk about it later. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Lisa Jericho says Expanse now. You're gonna go watch The Expanse.
Oh.
Cool. Yeah, I'm almost done season 5.
Oh.
And there's only season
You kept
6,
going, did you?
So, yeah.
So it got better?
Season 1's here.
Yeah.
Season 2 is here.
Yeah.
Season 3 is here.
Oh.
Season 4 is here.
Oh.
Season 5 is here. So I don't know where season 6 is going to fit,
Okay.
but that's the enjoyment curve for me. Season 2 is where it gets interesting. Season 3 is awesome. Season 4 is kind of like, the fuck? What kind of wall did we just hit? But anyway, that's just...
And to end our poll, what do you think of the reveal of the DMA coming from another galaxy? Loved it, 60%. Meh, not a good reveal, 20%. Did not like it, 6. Also Great Barrier, 5.
Nice.
Nice. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have great everything. We'll see you next week.
Merry Christmas,
All the
guys.
best. Bye, Stuart. Merry Christmas, pre-Christmas.
Bye, Commander Guardians. Merry Christmas, pre-Christmas.